I am elated to be part of something big that is worthy of being discussed not only in Orange County, but across our great nation. We pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and are resolved that we are one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. You probably are aware of the national debate about the appropriateness of standing or kneeling during the national anthem as a means of expressing one's First Amendment right of speech. I'm not here to change your mind one way or the other. I, like all law enforcement officers, are sworn to an oath that I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution and government of the United States, and that I am duly qualified to hold office, and that I will well and faithfully perform my duties as a law enforcement officer. This is a deliberate act that requires police officers and deputy sheriffs to sometimes risk their lives to protect others. Yet, somehow, we find ourselves at this point in our history in which we see strained relationships between the police and the very citizens that they are sworn to protect. The question before us today is this narrative an accurate depiction of how most Americans see it? I underscore the word most. You be the judge. Tonight, I want to speak about bridging gaps in relationships between citizens and police. Regardless of how one sees it, the lens by which we see the circumstances is cloudy. As a leader in my local community, I take seriously my responsibility to be a bridge builder and not a divider. Leaders at all levels of government have the responsibility to be careful in the words that they use when speaking to the citizens. Therefore, I confess that I have made a noble attempt to choose my words wisely tonight to hopefully bring clarity to a confused state of affairs. In the words of Mahatma Gandhi, no culture can live if it seeks to be exclusive. Respect for honest differences is a healthy sign of progress. After being a law enforcement officer for nearly 4 decades, I have experienced a shifting trajectory of police-community relations over time. As sheriff, I am both a citizen and a police officer. My parents, children, and grandchildren live in the community in which I am responsible for protecting. It is unfortunate that in many minority communities, there is a pervasive belief that the police use force far more than necessary, particularly when it involves minorities. This is a narrative that has developed over decades based on the actions or inactions of some law enforcement officers. Whether this is factual or not is really not the point. The point is that if that is the perception, it becomes the reality for many people. In order to heal a divided nation in this regard, it requires the police and the community to adopt a four-pronged approach, one that includes having mutual respect, transparency in motives, accountability for individual actions, and trust between each other. We, the police, must be willing to have our actions reviewed and scrutinized by keeping data on police-community interactions and documenting the use of force of any kind and make the data available for inspection. Citizens must be willing to cooperate with the police and respect the risk in the job of a law enforcement officer. The deployment of police body-worn cameras is designed to help provide the medium for this review. In order to strengthen the relationships between the police and citizens, the police and citizens must demonstrate that they care for each other. The police should engage with the community in non-enforcement related activities, such as volunteering as youth coaches and mentors. The citizens must become more educated about the duties of the police by engaging in activities like citizen police academies and volunteering for citizen review boards. These are just a few examples of the types of non-confrontational activities that help to break down barriers to communication. Recruitment, training, supervision, and discipline are the cornerstones to effective policing or reaching desired outcomes in any profession. Employees of law enforcement agencies should reflect the diversity of the communities in which they serve. As a chief executive, it is important for me to select the right individuals to hire, provide them with relevant and effective training, ensure the adequate supervision is in place, and discipline appropriately when work rules are violated. It is all of our responsibility to encourage and give accolades to citizens and the police when we achieve desired outcomes. For example, when citizens phone in crime tips or provide information that leads to the prevention of crime or the arrest of a subject, the citizen should be recognized for their efforts. Conversely, police officers who perform admirably should receive community recognition and agency-specific recognition. At the Orange County Sheriff's Office, our motto is "Together we can make a difference." We look for opportunities for citizens to engage with our agency through volunteerism, and it is working. Citizen complaints and deputy use of force have declined significantly in recent years. That is the good news. The bad news is that there is still much work to be done. I am Jerry Demings, and I approve this message.